Hi, this is Freya with another edition of How to Sing That Song. Today I'm doing a song that was actually requested by someone, All of Me by John Legend. I have sung this song many times on weddings. It's a very popular one for weddings, and I think it's so beautiful. The words are cool, and the cool thing here is you can do a lot of voice colors. Of course, there's the falsetto for the top part, so let's get started. Now in the beginning, and I've talked about this many times, the beginning starts very intimately and subtly. So don't be on 100% in the beginning. You need to leave yourself space to grow and to get bigger. And also think about the issue of the breath. Your breath is actually part of the whole expression. So let that flow into your sound, the way your breath sounds, and even the attack, the glottal attack, and the that emotionalness. I don't know, maybe that's not a word, but I guess you know what I mean. What would I do without your smart mouth, drawing me in and you kicking me out? You got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. So what you hear now is that I'm actually using a little bit of chest voice and a little bit of kind of very breathy mixed kind of register. And the reason is that whenever that chorus comes in the falsetto, which is really breathy on the top, there needs to be a contrast, I think. And I think John Legend does it that way too. But the main thing here again is that you do it in your own way. Don't just try to copy it one-to-one. Try to do your own thing a little bit. So whatever is your strength in your voice, do what sounds best in your voice. But whenever you sing those high notes here, I think it sounds really cool when you just do them a little bit more intense and a little bit louder and a little bit more chesty. That way it gives you this nice line and the nice phrasing. Let's go on. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy. See how I'm on the top more chesty? I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. So however you want to do that, alright, you could do it chesty or you could do it breathy. The main thing is that here something different starts. The beginning was kind of like one mode, one mood, and now the thought changes a little bit. I'll be alright. And now, depending on how well you could sing chest voice on the top, which I'm doing it in a key that fits me, it's C minor. The top note right now would be a C for me right here. So depending on whether you can hit that high note in a chest voice, you could do it. If not, it's not a problem. Do like Adele or like many other singers. Just do it in a more breathy. So chesty would be, my head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. Or my head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. So the main thing is that it's all consistent. And then there's you need to have like kind of make an arch over the whole phrase. It's like you're talking and you're trying to say something, Don't just sing separate pitches that are just detached from one another. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. That's kind of robotic and not very emotional. Do more emotional colors. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. So depending on how you want to go on with this, I'm opting to do it more chesty. The most important thing again is to let your breath be free. Just use all those breaks that are happening here to breathe very deeply and very openly. Otherwise, you'll be constrained right here. The more shallow your breath gets, the more shallow the sound gets, and we want depth and not shallowness in there. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. And again, use the voice colors of more chesty and more softly. Just use that, change back and forth, and however the pitches feel good to you is just fine, But the most important thing is don't just do it all the same. All of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not awesome. You need to make it awesome, and it gets more awesome when you have a lot of passion in there. And that happens when, first of all, you use your breath, like all of me, very deeply and with your ribs, but very emotional. And then also, change back and forth between that, yes, more chesty, and so softly. So it sounds funny when you speak it, but it's actually the way we do things as human beings whenever we're really honestly being emotional. So let's go on. Give your all to me. I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. Now comes this high part. Now I would suggest that you go into a very falsetto, breathy voice, because, here it gets pretty high, and even in the original key for guys, it gets pretty high, and it's not a song that wants to convey, I love you, but it's like, I give you all of me. It's like very much, internal what's happening here, and it's not an explosion, but it's an implosion once again. So try to be very breathy, and important is that you think kind of like a little kid, like all of me. And it's so important to have very good breath support, but also to just let the air flow a lot. Don't try to hold it. Don't try to make this tight. Keep this very loose, your vocal cords and this track right here. Very loose and very light and very bright. Otherwise, you're not going to get up there. It's going to be like this. And then the pitch won't come out if it's too tight. So you need to really let the air flow. And it's kind of like ride on the air. It's kind of like a hovercraft. You always need that breath flowing. Love me. And here at the end, you could go, into a chest voice again. It's really cool if you can even hear that break very obviously. And even for the beginning right here, 'cause I give you, I would do the beginning in a more chesty voice and then change into the falsetto. 'Cause I give you all of me. And that breathiness sound, it sounds really cool. It shines, it makes your voice color shine. It sounds kind of like silvery, very nice. And you give me all of you. Oh. And again, the end of the chorus here is kind of like the connection piece between the chorus and the next verse. So you should make it a connection and, slowly get into that feeling of what you want to say next. So then comes the next verse. I'm not going to do it because it's similar to the first verse. Just, change your voice colors around, be very emotional. And then comes another chorus. And then it goes into this kind of bridge, which, let me do it right here. I love you. Oh, give me all of you. And now depending on how strong you are on the top, cards on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it so that
also do it in chest voice. It's really high though.
Cards on the table, we're both showing hearts.
I think it's a little too much for me here to do it in chest voice. And then comes another chorus, and it goes into the coda.
And you give me all of you.
And now it's just kind of like a variation of what came before.
I give you all of me.
Just do it very emotional and let that breath flow.
And you give me all of you. Oh.
That's actually already the end, but at the end what you can do is really just kind of do variations and improvise a little bit.
All of me. And you give me all of you.
Just try out something. And again, I'm always saying that make it your personal thing, don't just copy something. It's nice, and certain elements in songs need to be left alone. You don't need to change them around. But then there's also elements, especially toward the end when there's like an ad-libbing going on. It's the best thing if you just make it your own, that way nobody thinks like, okay, it's not exactly like John Legend. Of course you're not exactly like John Legend because it's your voice, but you need to have your own awesomeness in your voice. So I'm always trying to teach my students not to try to sound like anybody else. And while you can learn a lot from those singers technically and what you could do with voice colors, don't copy because it's not going to sound good and it's not going to sound like you. Now, I did that in a different key than the original. What I'm going to do now is just for the girls, play it through one time, just one verse, one chorus, and then I'm going right into that ending there. So let me do that for the girls. So I hope this could help you a little bit. For the guys, there's probably a lot of karaoke versions floating around out there. You can use those in the original key. So this was the girls' key. I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to check back next Friday, or this Friday actually, because it's Tuesday right now, for my technical singing tip. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I upload a new singing tip on Friday and a new how to sing that song on Tuesdays. And don't forget, always keep a song in your heart and always keep on singing. Bye.